right, looks like.
Speaking of comfort, PFC, flag.
Yeah.
For
our first match here
Safari.
between Safari and JoeSushi. This will be the warm-up.
If I remember right, this is pretty straightforward. I don't spend a lot of time in the 12s folder.
Yeah, I'm not too familiar with this chart. I might not have ever played it, actually.
I know I've definitely played this before, but if I remember correctly, it's mostly just eighth notes and a couple of step jumps.
Yeah.
I think, but we'll see. We will find out together. Oh yeah, this mostly follows vocals.
Yeah, it seemed like there were a few of those gallops that kind of went just directly to what the vocals were doing.
So Safari pulling ahead, 14 for now. A little under halfway through the song.
Yeah, it looks like JoeSushi is struggling a little bit to adjust, like hitting a lot of fasts, it seems like.
Yeah.
But that's what the warm-up song's for.
Yep. This is a pretty good warm-up song, actually. It kind of has the little 16th changes. It has jumps. It has a little bit of motion to it, but it's not too challenging. Like, finding a good warm-up song is hard.
Yeah, it's
you have to find like a balance between practicing the things you need to do well and like not wearing yourself out.
Sometimes you also, like, if you know you're going to have to play hard stuff eventually in your draw, like, sometimes you want to play something like a little bit hard enough in your warm-up that your legs kind of get warmed up to do any like potential foot speed. But also, if you're playing something that's a little harder, then it's like harder to lock into the timing. So it can be tough when you only have one song to figure out like what exactly you want there and agree on it with your opponent too. Both near PFCing, but JoeSushi picking up some more perfects, getting a lot of fast. I guess both getting more fast and slows there, so it could just be the sync of the song.
Yeah, 10-1 for JoeSushi, 3-1. Oh, look at this convenient math. 3-1.
Don't have to
8-1.
whip out the calculator for that one.
No, 10-1, not 8-1. Goodness. Easy math, he says, doing the math wrong.
Yeah, be careful.
All right, we're going to see song number 1 between Safari and JoeSushi. All right, this is silly, but I like watching how different people go through the menu to find a specific song.
Yeah.
Whether you're a song title person or a version person.
I'm
or
a devoted difficulty person. I never, ever use the title sort, or actually sometimes if I want to play just new stuff, I will like virtual start and look at A3 or something. But other than that, I pretty much just only remember difficulties of songs.
If it's something in the middle of the alphabet in a big folder, I'll sometimes go to the letter. But not if it's like S or T, because you have the 8,000 songs that start with the.
Although like the 12s folder also isn't that much better. I mean, there's like 300.
Yeah, I mean, there's just so many charts that there's no point going in there like that.
Theory of Eternity. This is a good, good 12, tag 12. Very on sync, I would say. Good, like MA candidate. Both players have a pretty solid PFC. JoeSushi's got a little bit better marbles count, but we'll see how it goes here.
This is a classic tag song with a classic tag chart. Some kind of twisty eighth notes, a little bit of 16th syncopation, some 16th galloping.
Very heavy downbeat throughout, which is nice for kind of time.
Yep. The sync on the song is pretty good too, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, it is. It's very close. JoeSushi is like 1 or 2 ahead. But anyone's game here, so. of picked up like 5 in a row right there. And now Safari, I think, is 1 or 2x ahead.
Yeah. Still really close. The song kind of has a lot of arrows for a 12, I feel like.
Yeah.
It's very consistent.
Ooh.
Oh, JoeSushi picking up the good and a miss in there. That's unfortunate.
JoeSushi has an interesting form here. I was just noticing that he has like one hand on the bar pretty much all the time. It's pretty common to see people maybe take one hand off intermittently, but it's interesting.
When I was first learning to play with the bar at the arcade, because I played at home most of the time and didn't know bars were a thing. When I was first learning, I played a lot with one hand.
It's helpful for doing crossovers, at least in the direction of the hand you have on. Like I know, Kevbo kind of famously often takes one hand off the bar when he's trying to hit some fast crossovers. It makes it a little easier to swing your hips around. All right.
So Safari takes song 1, 32 perfects GFC, and a new PB.
Ah, nice.
Take home with him after the tournament's over. Song number 2, Ace Out.
Is it Ace Out Expert or Challenge? I'm guessing Expert.
Like
Ace Out Challenge would be a very scary one to pick. I mean, if you're good at it, it's a good tournament pick, but a very difficult shock arrow 14 in the challenge chart. The expert chart is
tricky as well.
It is, yeah. It does have that sort of like small BPM change, gradual from 135 to 145. But it's pretty, I would say, physically not too hard. Like for a 14, it's not too fast. It doesn't really have a lot of 16 notes, other than a few like little short runs at the end.
It has those the syncopated 16ths that follow that melody synth right here. The da, 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 da. They kind of do the thing where they're doing the 16th syncopation in the synth and still following the kick pattern, so you kind of get this really fun kind of mixed up rhythm on the side. I like this chart.
Yeah, it's a good chart. It's continuing the trend of having the login music from the mix before added as like a song in the game in the next mix. Electronic dance system music is the music from DDR Ace, and this is the login music from DDR 820. It starts off nice and easy. It gives you some like quarter notes to really lock in before getting into the little more syncopated rhythms. Both putting a lot of energy into the pads.
Yep. Super close.
Here's that gradual speed up. It's pretty tricky to time. Doesn't last very long, but all right, now it's 145. The rest of the song.
I think 820 had my favorite menu music in DDR. Good. This part slaps. Yeah, all those 16th candles pretty tricky in there, but still really close.
That's really close.
Safari only by 6.
And there's some kind of a little bit longer runs near the end where, you know, if you start a little late, you could pick up 5 or 6 perfects easily. Only 4 now.
Super close. Ooh, 3 in a row from JoeSushi.
Yeah. Like Safari might have it, but we'll see what happens on this last run.
Players trading some perfects.
Yeah, but
Safari nails it.
Yeah.
The 11EX finale.
Very close.
51-58. Sab going to be on the 2-player right side. Jia being on the left 1-player side as the players get about to get logged in. This is fun. I think Sab is a really good player, and I think Sab was, I don't think she was underseeded, but I think she was definitely strong for her pool.
Yeah.
And I think Sab has a chance of making a good run in this pool. I'm interested to see. She is a mixed game player, so she plays a lot of Pomp. I think she plays ITG. I'm not 100% sure.
I think so. I think somebody was telling me she plays Stamina.
Yeah. So she's got a broad skill set and is very good, but then might lack a little bit of the song knowledge because if you're playing a lot of games, it's harder to invest, especially with how many dang songs DDR has.
Yeah.
So it'll be interesting to see how it plays out, and it'll be interesting to see, you know, how well they play against each other, how everybody knows each other, and how the cards get structured.
Yeah, in this kind of a format, if you don't quite have as much song knowledge, it really matters a lot, like which opponent you end up playing and what songs they end up picking. Are they someone that, you know, does have that really deep knowledge and is going to pick some really weird stuff on you, or you know, maybe if they're also going for straightforward stuff, it can kind of just work out in your favor. You end up just getting to pick stuff that you're happy to play anyways.
And it can sometimes be tough because there could be songs that one player in your pool is good at or bad at, and the other player is the opposite, and you don't even know about the third player because they're coming up from the pool below. So it can sometimes be this really hard kind of tightrope act to put it all together. I think they're going to get their one warm-up song in here. So this is just for your own viewing pleasure.
Nice, good warm-up.
Night of Nights.
If you want to kind of get that more physical warm-up, you can play the 15 and the 16. If you want to just hone in on the timing, you can play the 11. And they're all kind of straightforward-ish, up-tempo.
Gia has the area #1 on the difficult.
Oh.
With 23.
It's fun to see with the Whitecaps getting A3, like all the area records getting reset, and seeing like who has what record, which, you know, local player in the state has records on which song.
Yeah, being a SoCal guy, it's nice.
Yeah, SoCal, I guess, maybe not as interesting.
Yeah, after a couple of years, area records in SoCal, it's like, what's that? You mean world records?
Yeah.
Again? This is a tough song to read fast. Sabez is on 375.
Yeah.
Continuing with her trend of just zooming those arrows. But there's some like tricky flow stuff.
Yeah.
This is one of those charts that will punish you if you double step too much.
Yeah.
And if you do it too casually, you will end up having to slide your foot or switch feet or do weird stuff.
Especially right at the beginning, or like right there where you see Sab got that miss. That's a really kind of rude pattern where you either have to commit to doing this like very fast, weird crossover, or just know that you're like, oh, I need a double step to hit this 16th pattern.
I like how similar the difficult and expert charts are for this song. I don't know if I've ever seen the difficult chart for this, but like they're very clearly like cut from the same cloth. I think that's kind of cool.
Yeah. Sab was really locked in on this, even though, I mean, this is a 15. We aren't even playing 15, so it's cool. But, I mean, she's having some of these like places where you have to double step. She isn't quite prepared to double step when she's reading so fast. This difference in how long the outro lasts is pretty comical.
Just jumping the outro.
Yeah.
So, Sab wins the warm-up song, 1700 to 1100.
It's tough when your opponent's playing the song with like 800 more X. You really have to get a lot of Marvelouses to
you have to get the double secret Marvelouses.
Yeah, or like hope your opponent's
X's.
great attacking, maybe.
Alrighty.
Struggle.
Oh, that's a good one. She has 16 on this.
That is a good score. Farrell's a very straightforward 13 with just, it's long, it's got a lot of 8th notes, pretty good sync. even though Sab doesn't have a great PB, I think this is something that, like, it's similar to Onyx in some ways, but a little slower. I think this is something she probably could get a really good score on.
Yeah, I would expect like a 995 at a minimum from Sab here. Would not be surprised to see a double PFC.
Yeah.
And here we go. This is one of those, here's what I'm doing charts.
Yeah, for sure.
They're going to be eighth notes. They're going to be off beats. They're going to be jumps.
Both players tied right now.
Yeah, pretty crispy by both players. Really nice MA so far.
Kind of trading perfects back and like both picked up a couple perfects almost at the same time there. So yeah, I think this will be a very close one. I'm excited to see what happens. Freeze crossovers here, kind of cute.
Yeah, Sab is definitely comfortable with this song. She was moving for the crossovers before the arrows were on the screen. So she knows this one for sure. And she's flexing it too. She's got about a 4 EX lead, 3 EX lead.
Yeah.
Still really close. Well played by both players so far.
Yeah, it's really still anyone's game here.
I think Sab heard me. She was like, 995 Tiza, really?
Got it.
I'll show you.
Yeah. Sab's still holding on to that very small lead.
Yeah, it's stretched a little bit, but super crispy.
Yeah, both players are ripping it on this. All right, she does take it by 8. But double PFC. Wow, really good MA from both players. Yeah, that's very impressive. 18 to 26.
Sab coming up from the pool below, winning her first song.
Yeah, she's looking like she's definitely gonna be putting up a fight in this pool too. If you thought it was only gonna be one pool, I don't know, you better stay on your toes.
Ooh, high and low.
That's another good one. Jai has a really good PB on this.
Yeah, 13.
It's a very fast song. 210 is.
Yeah, 210 is very quick.
Speedy.
This was the only song in the over 200 event that didn't lie. There were 3 songs.
Wasn't there
2 of them were 200 beats per minute exactly.
Okay.
And then high and low was 210.
I thought Paparazzi was in that
Oh, is
event.
Paparazzi in that
which
too?
is like, but that's
Yeah,
like kind of
Paparazzi's
a
like
lie because it's like
204.
2. No,
Yeah,
I think
it's
it's like
like
280 or something, but it's really kind of just like
Yeah, it's double time.
Like,
But like at least by the letter of the law,
Yeah,
the BPM scroll speed is over 200. All right. A speedy 12, a lot of eighth notes.
yeah, we'll see if Jai can replicate his PB or get close to it. I think he'll have a good chance of taking the song, but we'll see what happens.
I'm not going to acknowledge it.
I pretend I do not see it.
This song's super pop. I like it a lot.
It's a really hype song. Shuya Namai. I don't think they have any other songs in DDR that I'm aware of, but we should get more of them in there.
Sab only has 3.
Ooh, okay. Finally, Jai picks up a perfect there at like 120 combo. That was very impressive by combo.
So now it's only 1x apart because Sab got her 4th perfect.
Close. They're barely, both have barely any perfects.
Different patterns, a different feel, but again, this is a high BPM 8th note song.
Yeah.
We've seen Sab ripping these today.
Yeah. It's very well synced too, I think.
No, this song is terribly synced, and that's why I don't have a PFC on it.
Really? Okay. I guess that's just what I know.
It's terrible. It's the worst. So it's actually not that. The problem is standing on the pads. I'm the problem.
This is one that I kind of, even though I like it, I don't actually play it too much.
Yeah, the 16 is very tiring.
Yeah.
But my goodness, we're still only 3
Yeah,
EX
it's
apart.
really close. I was like holding on to this like 3 perfect lead that she's had for a while, but I mean, it's a slim lead.
Oh,
She
man.
does take it.
Sab with the
Wow.
2-0 by 9 EX.
They both, I think, had really good. Wow.
11 and 18.
That's crazy. 11 is insane.
So that's a what am I supposed to do moment because Sab beat
Yeah, exactly.
Gia's
Like,
PB.
I mean, yeah, Jai's PB is like 16. He's been like 18-1 in a tournament. Like, what am I supposed to do?
Yeah, 18-1 is really good on that too.
Yeah.
Whew. All right, players are logging in. I believe the card process has completed. I've been really enjoying from our last 2 production folks the extremely well-timed transitions.
Yeah, it's great. It's seamless.
Going right in after the login screen, just shoof song wheel. Love it.
It's like maybe we're playing Anniversary difficult here. It's a good one.
This was somebody's warm-up in the last pool. Was it? Did Sab play this in the warm-up last pool?
Really? I have no recollection
Somebody did.
of somebody playing this in the last pool.
It was one of the ones where we were like, is
Maybe.
this the warm-up? I think this was the first warm-up last pool.
Okay, maybe
or
I was
2
just
pools ago.
really zoned out.
I don't know. Who can say? It is a mystery.
It feels like we're seeing a lot of 12s in these pools where they're playing 12 to 14. I see a lot more people clicking. I mean, we see a lot of 12s, a good number of 14s, not a lot of 13s so far. Maybe a few, but I guess struggles to 13.
I feel like 12 is kind of it's kind of like a little bit of an edge in the difficulty curve a
Yeah.
bit. 13s are when things start getting really technical and really hard. Like, I feel like most people that are putting an effort in to improve will get to 12, like 10-12 range relatively smoothly, and then you start seeing it diverge around the 12, 13, 14 range.
Yeah, definitely.
So if you're looking for hards, like in every pool, there's going to be somebody that's going to try to pick the hardest thing they can. There's always one, well, not always, but virtually always one. And like you see Sab picking Onyx and stuff like that, the high stamina 14s. That's a really common tournament strategy. And then 12s can be very comfortable, kind of the bottom difficulty, if you're leaning on your accuracy and your MA.
Sab did great combo when she was PFCing, but it's coming back here with dare I say, a very impressive white combo.
Yeah.
I'll probably curse, but of course, I take curse. But
it's a 15 lead.
Yeah.
For those not familiar, the symbol pile, we recognize the arrows, obviously.
Yeah.
But this song is because Poppin and DDR share roughly share an anniversary.
I didn't know that.
And there are call-outs in the expert chart to Daikenkai, which was an early crossover from Pump into DDR. Not Pump, Poppin, wow. And it's reversed in the Poppin version of this. There is I don't remember what the song is, but it was a DDR song that crossed over into Poppin, and that's the chart they sample.
Sab does take that one by my God,
7? Sweet mother of mercy.
You gotta be kidding me.
JoeSushi 29-3, which is
that's like a very respectable score.
Yeah, which is great on
more
a 12.
than respectable.
Sab is
7.
ripping.
Yeah, she's powering up right now. Like you thought she was doing good in the pool before.
Yeah.
Just wait.
Sab is warmed up.
If she makes it through another pool, she's just gonna be like MFC stuff.
Yeah. We have to keep Sab in the pool. We're just gonna see what happens. Pool 17, she's gonna MFC a 17. Are 17s in pool 17? Yes, there are.
All right.
Midnight War.
Midnight War. Newer song.
Kind of 14-2-ish, 14-3-ish.
Yeah.
A little bit of speed to it, but fairly straightforward.
Synced a little bit early, but it's not too bad.
can,
I think it's safe, but
if you can handle the Vocaloid stuff.
yeah. A little bit of a musically polarizing. I'd say the chart is pretty inoffensive, but
Yeah, it charts, I think, kind of a box standard 14, to be honest.
there's
Some
a little,
16ths that follow the rhythm.
yeah, there's a little bit of like funky gallop stuff where it's like the chart wants you to do crossover gallops, and you can double step it, but you kind of got to know what's coming or react quickly. A lot of hype from the crowd for the women's tournament happening next to us.
JoeSushi off to the races. Was plus 10 for a bit on his PB.
Yeah.
Sab still looking very, very clean. FabSab, as the tag says.
Joe does pick up great, but ends a little bit behind the next score, like 10 or 15. Sab's maintaining with BFC. Sab does pick up a great there in the little box part drills.
Seems like it's stabilized a little bit. The gap hasn't changed very much in the last little bit.
Pretty consistent, like 20-ish.
Well, 20 exactly now. JoeSushi slipping a little late on those 16ths.
Looks like Sab probably just got it here.
That is all she wrote.
Just pull away there at the end a little bit.
Sab, another 2-0.
Yeah.
33-2 to 77-10.
She's looking unstoppable right now.
Yeah, she is on a rampage.
Good showing too from JoeSushi.
All right, everyone's already played, so no more warming up. We're getting right to the good business.
This is our fifth set of the pool.
Silver.
Ooh, that's an interesting one.
You won overground mix. This has some, is this the one that has the stops?
I think it does. I feel like this is one that I like don't ever remember. I feel like this is one that like people don't pick willingly very often. Like,
yeah, I
think the
think that,
sync's it's a little funky. Like the sync's a little weird. I think there's maybe some kind of stops that are hard to remember where they are exactly.
Yeah, this was definitely like a PFC. Oh yeah, there are two individual stops in this.
Yeah.
And the patterning is tricky as well. There's like some of that turny double step punishing stuff.
Yeah.
And the gallops as well with some crossovers in them. Good tournament chart. Sometimes a good tournament pick isn't necessarily the most bananas thing you can pick. It can just be something that is awkward enough and unfamiliar enough. You know, unpopular is better than super complicated.
Like there's that stop. It's kind of a tricky one to...
Yeah. Both players got a marvelous, but Safari picked up a great shortly afterwards. But that one's just right on beat, but it's scary to look at because
it's right there.
It's like,
oh gosh,
yeah,
when's it gonna come back?
A 30-second away from the next arrow.
Yeah.
Very stressful.
Giant's a little bit ahead, but not too much. 9x there at that stop. They both kind of picked up some change.
Yes.
On that one.
Safari struggled with that second one. It's really awkward because if you don't remember it's there, you're coming out of those triplets and you just end up way off balance.
Yeah. Even if you kind of manage to react to the stop, if you get a little surprised, it can mess you up on the stuff right after too.
Yep. And really, like, the gap has remained pretty close outside of the stops. Really.
Yeah.
Like, these guys are really well matched in MA so far. It's just come down to Gia passing the knowledge check.
Very kind of rhythmically tricky ending there, but
yeah.
I just take it by about 21x.
Yeah, I think it was 21.
But yeah, very close scores, I would say. Really, Safari just picking up a few more greats there.
Yeah.
Some of that chart unfamiliarity coming into play, and really their perfect counts were pretty close.
Yeah, they were only separated by 3 perfects.
Yeah.
And then the rest was all goods and greats.
London
Oh,
C.
London
That's a
C.
good one.
Very straight. It's the straightforward one.
Yeah.
I think Londons are on like the far end of my like songs that I enjoy musically, but do not frickin' play.
Yeah.
Because the challenge charts are just
Yeah, the challenge charts are
murder.
very rude. And
They're so
even,
mean.
I mean, even the expert charts, I mean, London A, the ending has a very nasty slowdown where you really have to know the rhythm and just feel the rhythm in your soul, as the announcer would say.
Yeah.
It's hard to just take a look at it. It's kind of just a mess of arrows if you're looking at it. But London C, thankfully, doesn't have that slowdown.
All right, so it seems pretty apparent to me that Safari picked this one and Gia picked the other one and put it on their card. Because last song, Safari was getting a little tripped up by the stop. This time it was Gia.
Yeah, although Safari does have a little something mistake there.
Misread a pattern or something. Puts him in a bit of a hole, but we'll see.
That's a nice thing about X scoring is that if you have like a little brain fart and you kind of get a miss somewhere where maybe you normally wouldn't, it doesn't hurt your score too much. It's only 3 points per miss, so definitely still recoverable. Both handled the slowdown pretty well.
Yeah, Safari's closed the gap a little bit.
Yeah.
Has a little bit more ground to cover before getting the lead back, but still anybody's game. Ooh.
10x
Very
difference
briefly
here.
tied, but then split off. Or I might just be misreading and it was just 10.
I'm not sure, yeah.
I think it was 10, you're right. Gia not letting go of this one. This is the densest part of the song. Most likely that something crazy is going to happen.
The gap is closing a little bit, but I don't know if it'll be enough.
Ooh.
Safari got a good
Little mistake there.
Yeah,
That wraps it up.
at the end. I think at one point it was cut close from 10 to like 5, but widened a little bit right at the end. But that was very close. They looked definitely very evenly matched on that song. Again, like, yeah, very, very close scores. Just kind of that couple more grades, couple goods, and the miss. Kind of giving Jai the win on that one.
All right. The women's tournament over on the Gold Cap is super hype. I feel like I see that every time there's a Women in Envious tournament, is that they are always very excited about everything and each other. It's really wholesome.
Yeah, definitely.
Like everyone, people encouraging people to cheer for their competitors, people just hyping the crowd up. The crowd's always ready to be hyped up.
Valkyrie Dimension does a really good job too of putting on events and like bringing that community together, and also supporting like lower level players. I know they always have really active lower divisions in all their tournaments, which is great for getting new players into it and getting them. Like I have some people I play with in my like local arcade who are, I think, probably would be hesitant to join like a big tournament like Mistake on the Lake, but are kind of get their toe into it with some of the Valkyrie events, and then maybe from there figure out whether that's something they want to continue doing or not, which is cool to see.
Yeah, definitely speaks to the importance of community building as well. Like building up that feeling that everyone's here to support each other and helping each other out wherever you are in your dancing game journey.
Black Flag Academy
Black
also doing
Flag
a
Academy
really
as
good
well.
job of that, and sponsoring some of our earlier pools today, supporting those up-and-coming players.
Flower.
Our experts.
So another reasonably high BPM, no Onyx, but 173.
This is a little more rhythmically tricky. Not as tricky as the 15, I think. Oh, okay, maybe it
just
wasn't
kidding.
far. like anti-anthem. That would be a really anti-anthem 13 would be like a great tournament thing.
That would
That's
be
like something
nasty.
out of the bag. That's definitely something a lot of people do not know. Oh, maybe
Okay,
this
we're
bar.
back.
All right.
Silly me, I thought they were playing Flower. It turns out they're playing Flower.
Yeah.
Should have known. Flower Expert, kind of in the vein of 170 BPM 13s or old 9s.
Yeah.
Like your Zephyrs and your double A's. Lots of eighth notes, a smattering of 16ths to taste. Decently jumpy as well. This has the kind of syncopated 16ths you hear right after this section of the song. You'll hear it in the preview. You get that dum 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 da 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 da. So Sab has a 964 on the 15. Neither player with a listed score here. One of them put it on their card.
Yeah.
So definitely not both sight reading.
This is one that's, even if you were sight reading, is pretty sight readable. There's nothing too surprising at the start. Some of that syncopation comes back later as well.
I don't know how much of the crowd comes through our mics, but it certainly comes through our headphones. Alrighty, we're still pretty close, but Sab again getting out to a bit of a lead.
Yeah. We'll see if she can hold on to it. I mean, so far, she's been starting a lot of these songs, getting a lead early and holding on to it. But we'll see.
Good from Safari.
She just is not dropping perfects on this. Safari's MA is also like really good. I mean, barely seeing any perfects on this side either, but.
Fab drops an arrow. I didn't quite see what happened, but either way, the 15 EX lead coming into the stop. We're about 2/3 of the way through the song. Little breather before getting right back to it. This used to be like every 170 BPM 9 used to just be this flood of eighth note crossovers.
Yeah. Yeah, it's nice to have it see a little more mixed up in more recent mixes. You see a little more 16 stuff, slower BPM with like a little more density of stream, as opposed to just fast eighth notes. Sab does take that one by 21. I bet that is a really low over count. Yep, 22. Can't say I'm impressed, but not surprised.
Yeah. So Sab is one song away from completely sweeping this pool.
Yeah.
She went 2-0, 2-0. Now she's 1-0 on Safari.
After sweeping the pool before.
So this is going well. The FabSab.
That's another nice thing about the waterfall type pools. It's always nice to have the little mini storylines of like who's on a run, you know, crushing their pool, crushing the next pool, and how will they do as they keep, you know, coming up against tougher and tougher opponents.
Yep.
Ooh, Soda Galaxy, that's a good one.
Oh, I like this song.
Yeah, that's a good song.
Both players the 998. Safari probably has a pretty low perfect count flag. Sab might have 2. I don't remember how many arrows are in this song.
I feel like it's not a huge number. I don't know.
Well,
I was
either
gonna say
Sab's
maybe
PB
both
is
have a
one
great
and like
change, but I'm
50
not sure.
more perfects. But like 500 for a grade is very low. There's no way this song has like 600 arrows.
Yeah, I don't think so.
Who can say?
But again, this is kind of a chart that like we've seen Sab doing well on these kind of charts. Kind of a lot of, it's a little speedy, a lot of eighth notes. Not too much rhythmic complexity.
Song number 2, Safari's chance to force a third song tiebreaker. Sab's chance to sweep the pool and advance one more. One perfect between the two of them.
Yeah.
Up 2. Exhale.
Another long white combo there from
Oh
Safari.
no. I'm sorry, Safari and Sab.
I didn't want to say it.
I did that.
But it's extremely close still. Safari's actually got a little bit of a lead. 3x maybe?
We've got a few in a row, but still hangs on to it by 1. Soda Galaxy has what I refer to as a friendly chart.
Yeah.
It's nothing that it is too aggressive. You don't have to move a lot. The rhythms are not flat, but like not too complicated.
It's not boring, but there's nothing that'll really catch you off guard either. Ooh, it's dead tie now.
Neither player catching the other one off guard either. Safari sneaking ahead a little bit,
Yeah.
tiny bit more consistent, but they are right with each other.
This is so close.
Safari right with his PB as well. Ooh, a couple from Sab.
Let's see if Safari can hold on to his lead here. Wow, nailing that
Oof.
ending. Nice. Takes it by 6. Finally taking someone takes a song
Yeah.
off Sab after she's won
She can
11
bleed.
songs in a row or something. Wow, 16 is a really, really good
Yeah,
score.
16 to
16 22 are
22.
both
This is,
great scores.
yeah. Very, very close. All right, we are drawing
All
the
right.
tiebreaker
This
card.
is a good match. I'm excited to see what the third song will be.
Yeah, this is going to be fun. I can't decide if I want to see something like super fast and challenging or something like really straightforward and watch
Yeah.
the two of them get like 5 perfects to 6 or just something
It
crazy
is
like
always
that.
hype to see like the double PFCs, but
I would not be surprised to see another double PFC here.
yeah,
There's
depends.
a lot, but
what
because
song
it
you
is the
get.
card draw random, like you can end up with situations where you veto New Generation and you veto Saberwing,
Yeah.
and
You do get a veto
now you're playing Tribe.
2 of the 3, but if you get 3 wacky songs, then
So, as
12?
Moosey's doing the draw,
12 to 14 is such a kind of strange range to card draw too, because it's so
Yeah.
like it seems like it's a kind of a narrow difficulty span, but it's like there's like 312s, 313s, and 214s or something, and 800 songs that could show up in your
Yeah.
card draw.
and that's where the majority of like the boss song difficulties land.
Yeah, which are
Which,
ooh,
like,
and
Ooh, monkey business, let's go.
That's hype.
All right, this is very interesting. Sab has played it, but has 2 uninspiring PBs. Now, we don't know if this is her actual PB because
Yeah.
we've definitely seen her not sight reading songs that she didn't have a score on.
This is one where it's like you gotta imagine if you end up playing this and you've never played it before, you gotta wonder what the draw was.
All right, so here we go.
Well,
The
let's
draw was Sync Extreme Challenge, vetoed by Safari. And here we are, Tokyo Evolve Type 3 difficult,
yeah,
vetoed by Sab. And we are left with Monkey Business.
Huh. I wonder if Safari has played it. I think if I had never played it, I think I would rather play Sync. Sync is kind of a weird one too, but Monkey Business is a very difficult sight read. It has a very tough and long slowdown in the middle. Also, even aside from that, has a couple other kind
The stops in the intro as
Stops,
well.
yeah.
I think, to be fair, it looks to me like Safari vetoed the most straightforward song on the card.
yeah, that makes sense.
And forced
Yeah.
Sab to pick which flavor of jank she wanted to fight.
Yeah, I do think this is a really good, fun chart, but it definitely, you gotta like invest some time and effort into learning it if you want to get a really good score on it. It's a really
Yeah.
good song too. The song's banger.
I really like the intro because it's like once you see the pattern, it's not bad at all.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, it's still pretty tricky, but it's like digestible tricky. But until you see the pattern, you're just like, what the heck is going on
Yeah.
here? That was a stop. That was a slowdown. This one's a stop again. I don't understand. And the big slowdown. Ooh, both players tripping up on the slowdown.
Yeah.
Sab's got the lead right now.
But yeah, neither of them looks super comfortable with this chart, understandably.
Yeah, this is kind of the opposite of the 5 to 6 perfect prediction.
Yeah.
It's going to come down to who makes fewer mistakes.
Which is, it's interesting, like you don't get to see it too much in some of the top pools where kind of everyone knows everything, but it's interesting to see like when you have to play something tricky like this and you know, both players aren't super comfortable with it, who can kind of improvise and react better. And that tends to be what makes the difference.
Yeah. And the slowdown in the expert chart, it's certainly not the challenge chart with all the 30 seconds, but like those 16th patterns are pretty tough, and you still have those 30-second drills in there at the end.
Yeah.
So it's just like its big brother, like the slowdown is not a break. But it looks like the lead is just sitting.
Yeah, it's really close. I mean, Sab has it barely, but
ooh, both players.
Yeah, that's a
getting
tricky
caught.
one if you don't know what's coming.
But Sab by
Sab does pull it out, but that was close. Yeah, at one point there, I think it was only like 5 until that last little slowdown. Very similar scores, both having like really good perfect count actually, but of course, like when you don't quite know all the slowdowns and stops, it's tough. You're gonna pick up some greats and good business and things.
Yeah, it's tough. There is just so much to Monkey Dance.
Monkey business, yeah.
Monkey Dance is the 2DX song.
Yeah, Sab does take the match though, so I think she will again make it out of the pool.
She clinches the 3-0. She's moving on to level 8.
Third pool of the day for her.
But we are not quite done yet. We've got one more. We had the S Civil War. Now we have the J Civil War with Gia. Almost a sneeze. And JoeSushi. All right, so we have the famous space helmet, expert.
Classic. Both have very good
kind of
scores
a
on this.
Consensus, extremely fun 13. A nice poppy 175. Big heavy kicks and the big fat bass line on the upbeats. Really kind of grabs you by the shoulders and kind of bounces you to the song.
Yeah.
Starting with the slowdown, a lot of 8th note stream, some 16th drills. Very like comfy foot speed range at 175. Both players with pretty high PFCs as their PBs. We'll see how this plays out. I can't tell you the number of times I've gotten a grade on the first 16th drill in this song.
Yeah, it's tough.
There's
like,
just something about it mentally that you're thinking very heavy 8th note, and then just, for me, I tend to tense up and rush.
Yeah, it's hard when it's mostly 8th notes to then kind of switch over into that mode without just rushing. It's easy to just be like, oh crap, it's fast now, I gotta go fast, but they go a little too fast.
Yeah, and 175 is fast enough that like you're no longer in comfy arrow territory. Like you have to put some work into hitting those 16th notes.
Jai is pulling ahead a little bit here at about a 30-28 EX lead.
Oh, JoeSushi trips up. Started the crossovers the wrong way. Tried to clean it up. This chart does flow very nicely if you do all of the turns. But if you're double stepping, you really have to commit to the double step because you'll end up doing the helicopter turns the wrong way, and it's just not good for business.
Yeah, right in the end especially, there's like one last triple or second to last triple that really can get you if you're not doing the crossovers and you aren't ready to double step in.
Yep.
Jai does take that song.
Gia takes only 14 and that miss right at the end.
Yeah, dang. That's
unfortunate.
Tough. That is a really easy spot to get a miss. Like I feel like I've definitely played this before and been having a good run and then forget to do the double step or crossover at the end and pick up a miss. You're so locked in when you're having that good MA that sometimes you forget that, oh, I need to actually kind of do this particular thing in this one spot.
Yeah. Ooh, La Señorita Virtual. Forgive my horrendous Spanish pronunciation. Sab has Sab. I've just been talking about Sab on the right side.
Been on the right
she's
side.
been on the right side, I think all of her matches. But Gia with 5.
5 is a really good score.
This is another one of those good tournament charts because It's a little tricky, and it's not a super popular song.
Yeah. You
can sneak this by somebody, or you could just have 5, and there's no sneaking there. You can just do it. JoeSushi, 997, 290. That's probably 3 or 4 greats. Maybe like a great and a good kind of thing. Charts really pop. It's got some tough motion to it and some step jumps. Those kind of old style, like very movie step jumps. I love the song musically. It's such a banger. It's one of those, I just feel like this song just puts a hand on the back of my head and it's just like.
Got a head bob. Ooh, those fast jumps. That's kind of that like old school, like you gotta be ready for that.
The little like
not so
corner
comfy.
Pivots.
Yeah.
And the corner pivots into the 5 jacks.
Yeah, the jacks too. It's a very like old school. Although they've been kind of bringing it back. There's been a lot of jacks lately in some of the more recent charts too, but.
Well, half of them are foot switches now. Like, what world do we live in?
That's true too.
It's crazy.
Like, I guess you could foot switch these too if you wanted, although most people probably wouldn't.
Gia, unflappable right now.
Yeah,
I haven't been counting, but not a lot of perfects.
No, he looks rock solid on this.
JoeSushi hanging in there. JoeSushi's had really good MA in the straight sections, but it seems like he's less familiar with this chart, getting caught by some of the weird patterns and rhythms. There's a lot of those kind of 8th note kind of, they're not quite syncopations, but just kind of weird patterns.
Yeah.
Right. Gia takes it. 1060, that is a low, that's a pretty low, 17.
Jeez.
44 and 3 and 1 for JoeSushi. Tough break, because JoeSushi showed some really nice MA throughout the pool. But like, man, this pool, this feels like an overperformance pool for me.
Yeah,
I feel like everyone played better than they were expecting, or better than I would have expected them to play. Really good stuff by all the players involved.
People were putting up some really impressive scores, especially on some of those 12, just like crazy MA, I would say.
All right, well, with the end of that, that is Larks and I tagging out from the commentary desk for the day. It's been fun hanging out with you all. Hello. Hello, good to see you. Oh, wait, I should use the other hand because it's on camera. It was fun hanging out with you all. We're going to tag out for some of our wonderfully talented colleagues, but we will see you later.
Yep.
Keep tuning in here and Ohio DDR, and enjoy some good-ass DDR.
Yep.
See you later, everybody.